Yo, what's going on, guys? Cultimer's back at it with another video. In this video, I want to talk about the possibility of Final Fantasy 15 coming to the PC sometime in the future. Now, if you guys don't know, Final Fantasy 15 is actually my most anticipated game of 2016. It's been a long time coming for this game to be released, and some people might find that surprising because, yes, this is a channel centric around PC gaming and stuff. I played Final Fantasy X back in 2002, 2003, and I absolutely love that game on the PlayStation 2. Then I went back, I played Final Fantasy VII on PC a few years ago. I played Final Fantasy VIII, played Final Fantasy IX, played the Final Fantasy X HD remaster on PS3, then I played the HD remaster on PS4, and I played Final Fantasy XII, which is actually a game that I really enjoyed, and then Final Fantasy XIII, it took the series in a different direction, but I actually still found myself kind of liking Final Fantasy XIII. If you go into Final Fantasy XIII not knowing it's a Final Fantasy game, it's actually a pretty good game. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with the Final Fantasy series, and I'm very excited for Final Fantasy 15. I bought Final Fantasy Type 0 HD earlier this year on the PlayStation 4, so I would get the Duscae demo. The problem with that demo, and it became pretty clear pretty quickly, that this is a game on consoles is going to have a very hard time to run at a stable 30 frames per second. And since the demo's been released, they've actually patched the demo and improved the performance. But there's literally 0% chance that this game is going to run at a consistent 30 FPS on consoles. And that's a shame, but when you look at the visuals of this game, this is graphically one of the best games I've ever seen. If you guys have a friend with a PS4 and they have the Duscae demo, just check it out. Even if you're not a fan of the Final Fantasy game, the visuals in this game are ridiculous. And it's pretty obvious that Final Fantasy 15 is a game that should be running on a high-end PC, because Final Fantasy 15 does take the gameplay style of Final Fantasy into more of an action RPG style, so it's a real-time combat system as opposed to like Final Fantasy X's turn-based combat system. And even Final Fantasy 12, that game had a slower paced combat system. Final Fantasy 15 is this giant game and it's super fast paced, and this is a game that can barely run at 30 FPS on consoles, and the game really should be running at 60 frames per second. But the good thing is, this is an instance where I'm pretty confident that Final Fantasy 15, some point after the initial launch on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, will find its way over to PC. I don't even think it's going to be as long of a wait as a lot of people seem to think. Some people think we're going to have to wait 5 years, just like Final Fantasy 13, because Final Fantasy 13 came out 5 years after the initial PS3 and 360 launch. That's not going to happen because over the last year, Square Enix has made it abundantly clear that PC gaming is a focus of theirs. They didn't want to bring all the new Final Fantasy games over to PC at that point in time. Now they do want to bring all their games to PC. You see games like Dragon Quest Heroes, Lightning Returns. Final Fantasy 13 has just been released on PC, and that game was actually a pretty good port. So at the most, after Final Fantasy 15's initial launch on PS4, I could see PC gamers waiting a year at most. Honestly, I think it's going to be more like 3 to 6 months if I had to guesstimate. Because let's be frankly honest, Square Enix is putting this game out on Xbox One, and Final Fantasy 15 is not going to sell well on Xbox One. Honestly, I think Final Fantasy 15 will sell better on PC than on Xbox One. Now, obviously, it's going to sell the best on PS4, and that's why they're bringing out the console version first, and that's understandable. The PS4 is going to be huge in Japan. PC gaming's still really trying to get its footing in Japan, and it's not all that big, and maybe it never will be, but I see Final Fantasy 15 coming to the PC as a foregone conclusion. Now, it being one of my most anticipated games of 2016, this is a game I'm going to double dip on. I'm going to buy it on PS4, and then whenever it comes out on PC, I'm going to buy it on PC. I mean, that's one of the things I don't like about PC gaming, because there's all these times where these big games are coming out on console first, and then you get it on PC, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, a year, sometimes even a year and a half with Grand Theft Auto 5. So that's why I always like to have a console around, just in case if there is a game I'm super stoked for, I can at least buy it on console, and if it does ever come out on PC, I can either buy it right away, or I can at least wait for a sale and then play through it again at 1080p, 60 FPS, or 1440p. And by the way, Final Fantasy 15 is a game that I think would look amazing at 1440p. I think it would look amazing in 4K. But obviously, if you would want to run that game at 4K, you would need an insane rig, and I don't have the money for that kind of a rig, nor will I ever buy a rig like that. But regardless, the main thing I want to do is I want to play Final Fantasy 15 in 60 frames per second. This is a game that should be played in 60 FPS, and hopefully when it does come to PC, Square Enix can make a real solid port. You know, they've been getting better with their shit. There's instances like the Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 6 PC ports that they were just ports of the mobile versions of the games, and those were absolutely terrible. But it seems like with games like Dragon Quest Heroes, Lightning Returns, they are getting better doing their PC ports, at least their Japanese PC ports. Games they publish like Just Cause 3, Deus Ex Human Revolution, those run pretty well on PC, but it's always these Japanese games that seem to have an issue. And that's mainly because Japanese games are still trying to get their footing in PC. Like I said, it's not that big over in Japan yet, but hopefully, as the years roll on, it'll get better and better. And when Final Fantasy 15 does eventually release on PC, it's going to be a pretty great experience playing that game at 1080p and hopefully a consistent 60 FPS if Square Enix gets the port right. So as always, guys, thanks for watching this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you buy FF15 if it came over to PC? Do you think it will be released on PC? Do you think I'm wrong and this game will be exclusive to consoles forever? Hopefully that isn't the case. So as always, guys, have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.